Hey everybody, welcome back to the Emotional Level Up series where we get honest, compassionate, and real about the emotions shaping your life. I'm Cole, a counselor and therapist that helps others heal and grow emotionally for a more happy and fulfilling life. Today, we're talking about something that quietly drives your self-worth, your relationships, your reactions, and the way you move through the world. Internalized narratives, y'all. The stories you absorb, not the ones that you consciously choose. And if you've ever wondered, why do I keep reacting like this? Or why do I feel stuck being the same version of myself, even when I want to grow? This episode is for you. So let's jump right in with a definition of what internalized narratives actually are. Internalized narratives are the subconscious story that your emotional system uses as its script. They're shaped by family dynamics, childhood emotional environments, past relationships, social messages, trauma, repeated emotional experiences, and even silence, what you didn't get or what you didn't hear. You didn't decide these stories, you absorbed them. And the wild part, you live your adult life thinking you wrote them. Let me break down a little further what some of these internalized narratives may sound like for you. I'm hard to love. I have to overperform to be chosen. If I express my feelings, people will leave. I deserve the bare minimum. I'm too sensitive. That's one for me. People always abandon me. I don't get to have needs. These stories that you tell yourself become your emotional triggers, your attachment style, your boundaries, your relationship patterns, your own self-talk, how you interpret people's behavior, what you tolerate. A narrative can become so familiar that it feels like a personality trait, and that's just simply not true. Now let's transition to where these internalized narratives actually come from. This is the part where most people never slow down to explore. Internalized narratives come from what you were told. Maybe you were told you were dramatic or you're difficult. What you weren't told, not getting enough praise at home. How people responded to your emotions. Maybe they snapped at you or they dismissed you. Who you had to be to stay safe, loved, and accepted. Maybe you felt like you had to be quiet in order to stay safe. Patterns that repeated until they became the truth. Children don't have logic, they have feelings, and feelings eventually become beliefs. If you're interested in identifying your own internalized narratives, here are some questions that you can ask yourself. So get you a pen or something, get your phone so you can type this out. So the first question you're going to ask yourself is, what's the story I tell myself in moments of stress, rejection, or conflict? What is that story? Number two, what narratives do I default to about my worth? When something goes wrong, what are you telling yourself about the reason that it went wrong when it comes to yourself? Number three, what did I believe I had to be to get love growing up? Only you know this. Number four, what do I believe about myself that I've actually questioned? Write it down. Number five, whose voice does this story actually belong to? Is it from your caregivers or from a past relationship where they told you certain things? And number six, is this a memory or a pattern? And these are 6 questions that you can sit down and journal to yourself about or think about, that I definitely encourage you to explore so you can figure out where your internalized narrative came from. The story that hurts the most is usually the one guiding you. Think about that. Okay, so let's talk about how to change that internal script. You don't rewrite a narrative by just thinking positive. You rewrite it by creating new emotional experiences. And here's how you do this. The first thing you do is name the old story. Write it down, say it out loud, because what we can name, we can actually change. Number two, identify whose story it is. Ask yourself, who taught me this? That question alone breaks the spell. Number three, challenge the emotional evidence that you have. Your nervous system believes what it experienced repeatedly, not what's necessarily true. Number four, replace it with a grounded, compassionate truth, not a fantasy, not a cliche, a truth rooted in who you are now. For example, your old story may be, I'm too much. Your new story can be, my emotions were too big for the environment I grew up in, but they were valid, human, and I'm learning how to express them with confidence. Fifth thing that you should do is you should live in alignment with the new narrative, even before you fully believe it. Repetition changes the body, not perfection. If you are still hanging in there with me, thank you so much. If something that I've said resonated, please like, comment so that we can build community, and subscribe to help me grow. To close this out, internalized narratives run your life until you slow down enough to see them, to recognize them. And when you see them clearly, you reclaim your power. You reclaim the emotional identity that you have. You stop living on autopilot. I know so many of us do that. You stop shrinking yourself to fit old environments, and you start becoming a version of you that you choose, not who life conditions you to be. That's an emotional level up. That's healing, and that's rewriting your story. Again, if this resonated, subscribe for the next episode, because we're going to be going deeper, growing smarter, and healing softer together. And as always, good people, keep showing up for yourself, because that's how real change happens. Peace.